Hey everybody, and welcome to App Groups, where we apply the message we heard this week at Freedom Valley Church. I actually spoke this week, and it was in our This Changes Everything sermon series. Jesus changed everything, including how we view death. He died of his own volition. He actually orchestrated his own death, and he rose again of his own volition. He orchestrated his rising from the dead as well. He did all of that, and he changed everything through that. When he died, the temple was actually changed physically because of it. The curtain in the temple ripped. That's something we talked about this weekend. And so what does that mean in our life? First of all, it means that God no longer just resides in a temple, that he is now let loose into anyone that has received Jesus into their life. And so we carry God around with us after we ask Jesus into our life. But that often means that God lives in this one little section of our heart, maybe, that we give over pieces to him at a time. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Usually we learn as we go, and God has grace with us. But sometimes we want to keep God in that box, that God is in this little church box. We go and visit him on Sundays, but we haven't given him the rest of our life yet. There are pieces of our lives that we haven't surrendered unto him completely. For example, a lot of people give God a piece of their life. They trust him with a little bit of it, but not their finances. Maybe they don't tithe yet. They can't fully trust God because they haven't given him that piece of their life. Maybe for you it's sexuality. You can't trust God and his plan for how to do marriage and sex. You've chosen to take your own route, and you don't quite trust God with that piece yet. Or maybe it's just a laziness thing. Maybe you haven't disciplined yourself fully to get up early in the morning and spend time with God, or set aside a part of your day to spend time with God. We have to surrender all of our life over to God and let him out of the box. Let him into your life completely, out of that temple and into your life. The other thing that happened when that curtain was ripped in the temple is that Jesus allowed the Holy Spirit to come into our lives, that we are made clean through him and his sacrifice, so that we can actually have a piece of God residing within us, within our own souls. And so the Holy Spirit came after Jesus ascended and gave us the baptism in the Holy Spirit. What that does is it gives us boldness and courage and supernatural wisdom. Gives us a prayer language that we can speak to God even when we have no words, and the Holy Spirit intercedes for us. So in our groups today, we should talk about what the baptism of the Holy Spirit means. Have you ever asked God for it? What it produces in your life if you are baptized in the Holy Spirit? And we're gonna talk about parts of our lives that we haven't surrendered to God yet, and maybe how to do that as well. So have a great discussion. We'll see you guys next week.